eyes closed, signed like crazy. My hand hurt real bad, and I bought the thing. That house and that $3,300 down payment led to $1.6 million without a single penny out of pocket over the next 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to my original financial freedom. And I look at where you're sitting today, and we are playing a way bigger game today than I was playing then. You don't have to know a whole lot to get started, but you do need to have the right mentors that feel like they're on speed dial. And then you need a system. If you have a mentor and you have a system, then you can do a lot. And most people don't have a mentor, and they read a book, which is not a system, and they're muddling through it. What's up, Kris Krohn here. I am pausing my own podcast to make sure that you have my cell phone number. Because as you're listening and thinking to yourself, man, I wish I could text Kris and ask him a real estate question or a business question, a marriage question, a health question, I got news for you. The phone number is right here. It's 385-217-3477. Save this in your phone and literally start texting me right now. Just drop your name and say, hey, Kris, it's whoever you are, and ask me a simple question. Let's go. Cold calling is probably what keeps most people out of this business, and it is also one of the more archaic forms of how to do this business. Later today, what we're going to show you is how to actually hire a team to do even some of that for you. Would any of you mind if someone was doing your cold calling for you to qualify your leads? We're going to talk about that. Most people, when it comes to investing in real estate, they assume that the more high-end the market, the worse it is. And for buy and hold, I think that holds a lot of truth. When it comes to wholesaling, the opposite is almost true. Those markets become very, very favorable. Yeah, which is also quite contrarian. There's really only a handful of things to keep your eyes on. When you take a really complicated model and can bring it down to just a handful of KPIs to focus on, that determines everything. Like when I do my buy and hold, the moment I know that average annual ROI is not going to be less than what percent? Then I'm just going to buy and pull the trigger all day long because I know how to multiply my money with that all day long. Because who wants to wake up in 20 years worth 10, 20, 30, $50 million? Yeah. Do you want to know how to put that on steroids and wake up in 20 years with way more money?
Yes.
It's very simple. I would like to share with you 2 reasons that I'm really excited about property. And the first one is that I believe that everyone has to work on an active cash flow game until they can graduate it to where they have at least 6 figures a year that is investable. And think about that for a moment. For you to have 6 figures a year, meaning a minimum of 100 grand to invest a year, that means that you're in a high tax bracket. So if you're paying $100,000 for an investment, you're probably paying an additional $40,000 in taxes on that. So you have to kind of have 140-ish maybe, or $120,000 to have an extra 100,000. And you yourself don't want to live on $50,000 a year. Like at that point, if you have $100,000 to invest, you might be living off of $100,000, $200,000, or $300,000 a year. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Which means that you got to find a way to at least have. I'm always going to fight for you to have a base income of $500,000 a year on the low side, because when you do, you can make beautiful, amazing memories. When? Now, not the free ones plus the paid ones. But then you also have over $100,000 left a year that you can invest. And until you get in that financial bracket, you got to keep your eyes peeled and you got to be looking for the thing that's going to pay you more. But you got to balance it against your budget, because a lot of people, when they start making a lot more money, they elevate their lifestyle before they prioritize investing, and they live as if next year they'll have the same income. And you want to play the game, I think, a little bit different than that. You always prioritize investing, right? Yeah. So that's the first real reason why I love this. But the second reason why I'm so in love with this, and I mentioned this to just a small group of you last night. And when they said, Kris, with property, who are we talking to when we said, Kris, what are you most excited about with property? William asked that. And I said, the thing that I'm the most excited about with property when it kicked off was Carlos and Sal. And the second thing afterwards that I got the most excited about was the people that I was going to play with. Let me tell you something about that industry in general. It has a whole bunch of influencers in that space. And there are some really cool people in that space. But over the last decade, I've been trying to find someone that I could partner with that I believed in. And if I could just kind of give you a little piece of advice, partnering is a great accelerator to doing more in life, but you have to find the right partner. And how many of you have ever found the wrong partner? Yeah. And how you know it is you likely got more excited about the opportunity than the person. Be honest. So when you see an exciting opportunity and think this is going to translate into value in the market and making money, we get excited. You should never get excited by money. Because an opportunity with a lot of money backed by the wrong partner always ends in flames. So it doesn't matter how lucrative the thing is or how much value you can create if it doesn't associate with this one word, sustainability. And the core of sustainability at its nucleus is never the opportunity, it's never the system, it's never the testimonials. At the core of sustainability is the people. You know, this 2-day boot camp, frankly, is giving you the tools so that you can just go out and do this. That's the cool thing. You don't need us, you don't need me. This training is enough for you to let your feet carry you to that next door knock, talk to a graduate lady and negotiate a deal. You now know the secret. Find the best people on the planet, and then anything really becomes possible.
Everything falls apart, 'cause